Are you looking for beautiful, soft, reflected light that is also quick and easy to set up? Take a look at the new Snapbridge Glide Kit from Lightbridge and DoPchoice.
CineD, your digital cinema tech resource, supported by B&H and CVP.
Welcome everybody to this interview about a new product release, a common product by Lightbridge and DoPchoice together. But before we start about this new, very innovative product for creators and for owner-operators, I want to introduce Jakob from Lightbridge.
Hi. Should I say something?
Hi, Jakob.
I can't. I thought you were going to introduce Stefan. We've been friends for so long, so this is just a really awesome thing, the three of us getting together now finally. But yeah, I mean, look, it's actually real simple. Lightbridge focuses on moods, how we can create shapes of emotions with light. And we do this now in the first product range with reflectors. And because it's all about the natural quality of light and what moods and emotions we can create from that. So I was a gaffer for 20 years. So obviously starting the company, it all came into place to keep the really high quality. I came from big feature films and now it's, a big learning curve for us. So that's super interesting to see how we can do interviews, how we can help small teams. So it's a great learning curve for us that we're enjoying internally. And honestly, I'm learning a lot right now.
And Stefan, your company is known for putting the diffusion on kind of every light, right?
Yeah, not only diffusions, also some grids, but for sure, as Jakob mentioned, we had been collaborating a lot in traveling and having workshops together and so on. And I think there was a big need that we do one product now together, and we are really happy that this happened right now and that we release it today.
But before we talk about the new product, actually, let me give a little bit of a insight or ask for an insight about reflected light. I mean, Jakob, correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys were the first ones to kind of professionalize reflected light. I mean, if we talk about reflected light, a lot of people think about styro boards and like bed sheets on the on the set to use as a key light. With reflected light, but you guys with the Lightbridge reflectors were the first ones to really standardize this, right? I mean, to have different mirrors, reflectors that give different quality of reflected light.
Yeah, look, I mean, we're standing on the shoulder of giants. People have been doing reflected light since the Egyptians, so it's nothing new. And honestly, I love to use bed sheets too. So it's not that everything that reflects, everything that surrounds us reflects. That's common knowledge, and we have a lot of great products already out there that reflect light. But we saw the big need to say, how can we control this? Because all the balance materials we have out there, they have a lot of spill light, depending if they're rags, depending, if it's a poly board. So the whole idea was to say, how can we recreate natural looking light, which means it has to be as far away as possible. And by that, we want to still have control over the light. So that's the way the whole reflectors came together. And that's the reason we came to aluminum surfaces. So it was like, with Christian Berger starting this 23 years now by the state of research on set to get it to that point now where we can say only 3% light loss, no spill light off a diffused light. So all these things came together in that kind of a way. And so for me, it was this coming from the reflected side, more from how can we recreate natural looking light? And then always, on the tours with Stefan as well, it was always talking about how can we control it better? What can we do? So Stefan's grids, of course, have been, a game-changing part in our industry. And we, Stefan being a DP, me being a gaffer, we obviously got along really well together. So it was just clear, how can we push the boundaries of reflected light? So it was a clear call to Stefan, and we found the time now to say, how can we recreate it? How can we push the envelope of reflected lighting? And so merging our brains, merging these two brands made absolute sense to come up with something new. And that's the reason I'm so excited. And this is more fun than a job right now doing this with you, because we're really excited what we did. I think we really pushed the envelope, and so it's going to be really interesting to see what comes back from everybody using it on set now.
I mean, so far, correct me if I'm wrong, but Lightbridge products were really targeting the higher end of film sets. DoPchoice, I think, was also high end, but also kind of mid range, because any kind of LED light, like it was like the standard thing would be like is there already a DoPchoice diffuser for that new light, but for the Lightbridge stuff, it's really, I mean, I haven't seen many Lightbridge reflectors on tiny cruise sets, right? I mean, I'm personally also DOP and I shoot a lot of documentaries, and I would love to use more reflectors, but the reality is you don't have the time or space to put up, like a source and different, like 3 different reflectors or whatever. So, and this is something I think you want to tackle with the new product. So maybe you could talk a little bit about what's coming up now.
I mean, the thing is that what Stefan did in the early days, and me starting out as a gaffer, Stefan was already coming up with the Snapgrids, was, professional products, especially for high end, they have to be highly dependable. That's the major thing. Every day it have to come out, it has to work. You do not have time. It goes in different crews. It comes off the rental. So you really have to be able to depend on it. And obviously a lot of knowledge comes with this, how to use this. And for us, it's been the same kind of learning curve for people on set. How can you use precision reflectors? And the idea was to say, how can we take all of Stefan's knowledge of how can we create really easy to use products? Like that's the reason he calls them a snap. It's just simple and easy to do. So we wanted to take this world, the best world of that, combine it with our world of high quality light so we can make an interview setup happen in no time. And the same goes for any kind of setup. And, there's small and big productions. And sometimes, the big productions, it has to go really fast. And they have to have a fast solution. And that's the reason I think we came together so well, to do that. So, it's exciting to show you guys now what Stefan came up on his part, what I did on our part over here, and how this all is merging together to one game-changing new thing, I believe.
So without further delay, let's talk about what's behind you guys. It is called Snapbridge. So a smart combination of product names, company names. What do we see there?
Stefan, you want to start out?
Yeah, so basically it's a little product that folds up like that. The main idea was to take the mirror and have it much bigger as a bigger light source. That was the first idea. For sure, as always, we always try to make something very simple so that you can fold it open in an easy way. So you have 2 sides. You have a white side, you have a black side. It's a ultra bounce material. As you can see, you have also 2 kind of speakers here, and so you just click it in like that. And then you can decide on which kind of side you want to open it. So, for example, you can get it in this direction, but you can also put it reverse way, so that it also goes in that direction. And then you just put it on your stand. You have already prepared here something. So you have here the 2 options. The one is with black, the other one is with white. And then you can take the bracket of Jakob, and you can take it on the black side or on the white side. And I think this is what Jakob will demonstrate to you in a cool way. And he has played, and also us, we have played around a lot the last weeks, just to learn what you can do with this 2 simple things. To have a white soft light around the mirror, the reflector, or to have a black one. And Jakob will show you much more right now.
Yeah, it's awesome. You saw immediately that in no time you can create from a small little package a huge white source, right? And there's one thing I also want to point out. So if you look at the Snapbridge from the side, look how slim the build is. Like, this is soft light with no space. So all of a sudden you can shoot in small locations. You've got small elevators, you've got stairs, stuff you need to take care of. So that's everything is possible now from the small little kit. So that's the number one. I think the slim size of this is a huge advantage for shooting in locations where you don't have a lot of space. Now we end up doing is, and we had a lot of users that we were asking of saying, well, I love bounced light, but it isn't enough light, right? So that's one thing where the Lightbridge all of a sudden comes into play, because if you look at the white surface now, in the middle, I already mounted this, you now have the Lightbridge reflector. Now this is only 3% light loss, right? So that means if you don't have really big, powerful lights with you and you're shooting in locations where you've got big windows and you still need to get some extra fill light, this is going to really help. And it comes in the Glide kit. That's the name of the kit now. You have one Snapbridge with 5 feet diameter. You've got 2 reflectors, 50 by 50 centimeters, diffusion 2 and diffusion 3. So diffusion 3 is softer. We're going to have a look at that in a second, what that means in the face. And diffusion 2 is just a really great option if you need more punch. So that, again, spill light free, only 3% light loss. You can really push the light. And what's now possible with the interviews is, and that's the great thing of the combo of this product. So what you have here is soft, wrappy, beautiful light for the face, great for skin tones, and for the extra push, for the feeling of natural light, for the feeling for the skin tones, the light feels further away. For eye light, it's, of course, precision reflectors that have been on the market now for quite some time and had its success. So now it's just great to take what we're doing for the big features into the world for people who don't have 10 trucks standing outside, to get this quality of cinematic lighting if you want. It has a lot to do with the angles, but we'll have a look at it in a second. So it doesn't always have to be flat from the front. You can also move it to the side. So really fast adjustments, and you can do everything that you want from that. The other thing that Stefan mentioned, which is really important, is, so let's say you're shooting something where you say you want something more moody. You're shooting some kind of a scene and you don't need this beautiful soft wrap. You just have to go, as Stefan demonstrated, to the dark side. In this case, you just snap it over to the other side. We call this the dark mode, because even the material that Stefan uses gives you a beautiful dark glow. So it gives something in the face that really feels interesting. It's more like, black silks and the charcoal grids that are available. The dark mode really gives you the feeling of something moody. And then again, you just can snap the diffusion 2 or diffusion 3 on it to put it on there. But I guess it's enough theory. Let's go have a look at this on the face to really see what we can do with the light. For that reason, what we did is we mounted a light down below on the stand, just so everything's off of one stand and we can move it around, which makes it simple and easy. But most important to point out, and I really want to say this in all clarity, this product works best with your favorite light source. So whatever lights you want to use, you can use them. It can be a soft light, it can be a hard light, it can be a flash. It's going to work with all light sources. Yeah, so much to that. I think let's jump in and have Nadia sit in and have a look at the light in the face. And we'll just start off doing a little bit technically so you get all the feelings. We'll just look at the Snapbridge without the reflector, also an option. Then we have diffusion 2, diffusion 3 to look at. Then we're going to look at the dark mode. So actually from one small kit, you got suddenly 6 options that you can play with. So a lot of creative control you have from a really small kit. Okay, let's do this. Nadia, please, you come in. So, put this over here or back. Okay, so first we'll have a look at dark mode without a reflector. You can see it's a beautiful, soft, dark wrap, a little bit like charcoal grid or black silks. It gives you the feeling there is light, but actually there isn't. So this is really great if you want to do some dark scenes, some dark moods. Gives you a really nice quality of light. Okay, here we got diffusion number 2 in dark mode. Really punchy, powerful, diffuse daylight. I really recommend using this for interviews when you have a lot of daylight in a room that you can't control. Diffusion 2 is going to give you maximum amount of punch out of your light source. We only have 3% light loss on this, and you can see by panning around, you really can create different kinds of moods depending on the facial structure. You got all the options you need to create beautiful light. Okay, it's dark mode with diffusion number 3 now. You really can see the soft, beautiful, rapid bounce that you get from the Lightbridge precision reflectors, but you're adding into this the dark mode from the Snapbridge, which is a really cool look. If you want to have something dark, moody, you can use the Snapbridge in dark mode as well to take out unnecessary fill light, for example, if you have a window or something. So it's a very cool way to create a moody light like this in no time, in a snap. Okay, this is soft mode now without a reflector. And what you can see is it's the really classical, beautiful quality of a diffused wraparound light that we get from DoPchoice products. And by this, we also can see how much light we're getting on the wall. So this is the punch that we're going to get back now by adding the reflectors to this. But just to be very technical, I want to show you this as well because it is an option at some point if you want to do this. Okay, diffusion number 2 is the Snapbridge. Now we're getting the best of both worlds. We have the Snapbridge with the white plus diffusion number 2 to give you all the punch that you need, especially if you're shooting in bright locations and your light sources can't compete with it. Diffusion 2 is really going to give you the punch to create the light that you need to. Okay, soft mode with diffusion number 3. Now you get the beautiful wraparound from the Lightbridge diffusion number 3 in the face, creating this gorgeous, you see the face tones, you see the cheekbones from Nadia coming out. It gives you all the accentuation you need to create gorgeous portrait light.
Okay, really cool. I mean, so this is a really, really versatile product. It's very small. So like you said in the beginning, the biggest advantage that I see for example, my line of work, documentary filmmaking, is that it needs a lot less space than a classical chimera, which is really deep, and actually you need a lot of distance between the light source and then of course the diffusion, and that often is a problem in small spaces. So with your new product, of course, you can literally put that in a corner and show off the whole room if you want to shoot into the room, for example. But also the flexibility. So just remind me again, what is part of the kit? So you get the diffusion, and you also get the reflectors. Is it different reflectors that are included?
So this is the product basically. So you have the Snapbridge from DoPchoice coming in the classical DoPchoice bag. And then you have as well our 50 bag that comes with diffusion. You can see it in the color codes. Diffusion 2 and diffusion 3 are in the bag. If you want to buy extra diffusions, you can put them in too. You as well get a grip bag. It comes with the C-wheel. And what we also put into the kit is an extension for 60 millimeters. So you can get the Snapbridge a little bit away from the stand if you want to tilt it down more. So that's also in the kit. Just shouldn't you have a go arm handy? So we thought we'd just put it in there on complementary reasons, yeah.
Very cool. So this is really targeted at owner-operators working in small teams that probably don't have a gaffer with them. But I can also see this, correct me if I'm wrong, I mean, this can really be used for photography as well, right?
I think it's the full range. It's really all-in-one. It's a one-kit wonder. It does the small teams, it does fast setups. You can put it in front of a window, like you're losing daylight and you don't need more daylight, you're on a balcony. Just put the Snapbridge on there, push a light into it. You get all the fill light you need, plus you get the punch to have a feeling of daylight as well. And for photography, we've had great feedback too, because it's just gorgeous. It's the combination, I think, that really makes a difference between Stefan's part and our part, and the combination of the wrap and the punch really does something different for the skin tone. So there is something there for a really aesthetic reason too, not only for a pure functionality. So it serves both worlds, which that's I think is the most important thing about a good product. Yeah.
Well, and also I think one thing not to neglect is that it packs up really small. So you can transport this, like you don't need a huge car, you don't need a lighting truck, of course, but not even that. You can just put it in the trunk of a small car, or whatever. I mean, it's much smaller even than a collapsed chimera. Actually, that's like in a tube and everything. So that makes it really attractive, even if you're shooting alone. I think, like some people who really don't even have a sound person with them, you can just take this with you. I think
it's also the other interesting point that you can use also different kind of light sources that had been beforehand not to be easy to be used, because if you don't want to have a spill light, you just block it away with the black reflector. If you want to use it that it gets more punch when you have a reflector and a little bit the aurora around the reflector. And I think this is a big benefit that it opens more also to different lighting fixtures.
Yeah, and you saw it in Stefan's demo, how fast you can set it up. It's this beautiful movement, flip, and the whole thing comes up. And suddenly you have from this small compact thing, I mean, it's big, it's 5 feet, right? So that already covers a lot of surface and you don't have to go too close. So you have all the wraparound from there. And then it's really lightweight, the whole thing. It's 2 reflectors, the Snapbridge. So you take that on the stand and your camera. And even if you want your sound gear, and you can do it all in one, which is great. And that goes for all teams. Everybody has to do fast setup, so doesn't have a lot of time to do stuff. You always need that little trick up your sleeve if you're in a situation where you have to react fast. So we really believe that the Snapbridge is just the best of both worlds for this, to make this happen.
Very, very cool. I can definitely see this in a lot of new people's hands that haven't ever worked with reflectors. I mean, apart from styroboards before. So I think that can be very versatile. It's a small learning curve, I think, from what you're used to. Just put up your light, put the diffusion on, but basically it's still the same. You put up your light, but you put it probably on the floor like you did, shoot the source against the reflector, and it doesn't need more space. So that's kind of amazing.
I think it's two things that you mentioned that are really important. One is, if you don't have a lot of space in a room, you don't have to worry where your light source goes. You can put it virtually anywhere where it's not hitting the talent, and it can bounce into the Snapbridge. You can put it on the floor, you can put it on a stand behind the camera and push it in anywhere you want to put it, you can do it. And the other thing is, we really think it's a great entry part to go into the world of Lightbridge as well, because the learning curve is close to minimal. Because if you just use the reflector, you really have to understand how it works. But with Stefan's pod, it's going to look beautiful right away. And then you get a slow, easy intro into use the reflectors, just put in a diffusion 3. It's going to look good right away. And then when you get interested in saying, oh, wow, why does this look so great? You can really start to go into there when you got more time. So we feel really confident. It doesn't take knowledge to put it up. Just maybe set it up once before you take it on your next show. But we recommend that with any kind of gear. Read the manual.
Absolutely.
I never do it.
Well, we are all men. Nobody reads manuals. We're just going to try it out first, right?
Exactly.
So let's talk about availability. I mean, are you guys already selling this?
So that's the cool thing. Stefan did an amazing job in how fast he was able to push it out. And we obviously, we're trying to keep up with Stefan. So we're going to be able to ship the first batch in November. Next batch will come in afterwards. We've been doing dealer reviews the last couple of days, and the requests already coming in. So we're going to reorder really fast and start pushing it from there. So you can get this as a Christmas present if you want to.
Talking about Christmas, Black Friday is coming up, and you guys actually, thankfully, agreed to give us some gear for our amazing Black Friday giveaway, which will start very soon on CineD.com. And it will be gear worth in excess of, in total, I think, more than $15,000, but we're still working out the details. And you generously are donating 3 different kits for the giveaway, right?
Yeah. So it's a Snapbridge, of course, the Glide kit. So you get everything you saw right now. Then there's a C-Start, really for small reflectors, if you do tabletop work or you just need a small little highlights. And then there's the Go kit, what already was set up for interviews as well, but it's just within the world of Lightbridge. And then with the Snapbridge now, we can open this up even to a bigger audience, we believe. So those 3 kits we're really happy to give away on the Black Friday, because I think there's nothing more important than to spread a word of the importance of light. And we do that, I think, the best by sharing our passion, by giving away. Yeah, that's also thank you to you, Nino, for that too.
Thank you so much for donating this. And this giveaway will start on CineD.com around the 21st of November. So stay tuned to the site for all the details. Entering is very easy. And the draw will be at the beginning of December, and we will announce the winners then. Okay, thank you guys. Good luck with the new product. I look forward to also reviewing it and using it on something and really shooting a couple interviews with this, and then, sharing my thoughts about it on CineD.com. And yeah, best of luck.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
And thanks both of you for doing this. This is a big fun.
Thanks everybody for watching. Stay tuned to CineD for a lot more lighting news and other news and reviews, of course. And please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks.